Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson is in day 3 of his vacation. I'm in day 3 of filling in for him. My name is Jefferson Robbins. Thank God it's Friday, January 23rd. We're here with all the news you need to finish up your week. Some of the top stories we have coming up for you tonight. Wenatchee Police Chief Edgar Reinfeld will get a slight boost in his compensation for acting as the city's interim administrator. How's the search for a permanent executive coming along? We'll fill you in. And a 12th District legislator who was once a local sheriff has his qualms about a bill in Olympia that would disqualify ICE officers from joining Washington police departments. Weather-wise, it was a blue sky breakthrough this afternoon with some inversion-fueled clouds finally giving way. We could see more of the same into this weekend. Dan Kuntz will be along later in this half hour to point at maps and pretend he knows what he's talking about. But first, our top story tonight. A structure fire and a vehicle falling into an irrigation canal kept Wenatchee Valley firefighters busy on Thursday. Fire Chief Brian Brett tells NCWLIFE those were just 2 of about 20 911 calls his agency received yesterday. Just before noon, a woman in a home in the 600 block of South Chelan Avenue accidentally triggered a kitchen fire when she left oil warming on the stove. Brett says those flames burned into the plastic water pipes running in the wall, and the resulting flood helped to dampen the fire. The kitchen and attic were burned and the house is now uninhabitable, but it can be repaired. Later, about 3:15 p.m. on 2nd Street Northeast in East Wenatchee, a woman became trapped in her vehicle after driving into the nearby irrigation canal. Brett tells us in a different time of year, the accident could have been a lot worse.
Fortunately, the canal's dry this time of year. However, the occupant of this vehicle had backed out of a parking place, went into the canal, and ended up sideways and trapped in the vehicle. Fire crews had to cut the windshield out and help her out of the front windshield of the car. Lifeline took her in for treatment. She was ambulatory, so I suspect her injuries were minor. But fortunately, the canal was dry.
The Wenatchee City Council yesterday approved a stipend of roughly $2,400 for Police Chief Edgar Reinfeld for his ongoing work as the interim city administrator. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, reports that the monthly stipend represents about 15% of the budgeted salary for a city administrator. City Human Resources Director Kim Oglesby said Thursday at the council meeting the funding for the stipend will come out of the mayor's office budget. Mayor Mike Poyer says the decision is in response to the additional work Reinfeld is being asked to do while the search for a permanent administrator continues. Laura Gloria, the former administrator, resigned from the position in August 2025. Poyer said the search for her permanent replacement is ongoing, and the city has a few candidates, including a couple that have made it to second interviews. The Chelan Douglas Land Trust has acquired 2 properties to protect nearly 100 additional acres of river and floodplain habitat along the White River. This waterway provides spawning and rearing habitat for endangered spring Chinook salmon and supports one of the largest sockeye runs in the Upper Columbia. The Land Trust says the new properties, located in the Wenatchee watershed above Lake Wenatchee, include wetlands and forested floodplain, which offer opportunities for future habitat restoration. Public access is not restricted, but the properties are not developed for recreation and visitation is discouraged. In total, the Land Trust now permanently protects 704 acres and over 6 miles of river corridor along the White River Channel. Another piece of the Confluence Parkway bypass project pulled into Wenatchee early this morning. City Public Works Director Tom Wacholder says the first set of bridge girders arrived today for the new North Miller Street overpass. That's a key portion of the parkway's first phase of construction. The city contractor will be working over the next few days to erect those girders near the BNSF railway adjacent to Miller Street. The overpass will carry traffic above the rail line for the North-South Parkway. An east-west underpass will allow traffic on McKittrick Street to travel straight through to the Columbia riverfront. In future phases, the parkway will join up with a new second bridge crossing the Wenatchee River. When we come back, a new reservation system is in the works for a favorite riverside park, thanks to collaboration between the state and the Chelan County PUD. I'm Jefferson Robbins, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
It's time for BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 16, with your host, Mike Mitchell.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. A Chelan County state legislator is speaking out against a bill that would bar Washington police departments from hiring any officers who joined ICE during the Trump administration. House Bill 2641 would prohibit police employment for anyone who was hired as a sworn officer of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement on or after January 20th of last year, the date President Trump returned to office. Democratic House members Tara Simmons of Bremerton and Sean Scott of Seattle introduced the bill today, which has yet to gather any co-sponsors. ICE has come under fire for wrongful arrests and violence against bystanders while enforcing immigration laws, including the fatal shooting of Renee Good in Minneapolis. State Representative Brian Burnett, a Republican, was Chelan County Sheriff for 12 years. In a statement this week, Burnett called the bill discriminatory and said new Washington police officers should be hired on individual merit. He also warned the bill could shrink the potential pool of new police recruits. Washington's members of Congress split yesterday over continued funding for ICE. Republican Dan Newhouse of the 4th District voted in favor of the budget package that pays for continued ICE operations. In the 8th District, Democrat Kim Schreier opposed the bill, criticizing the agencies for its use of masked officers and warrantless arrests. The funding resolution nonetheless passed the House 220 to 207, keeping ICE's overall budget flat. 7 Democrats crossed over to vote in favor, including Representative Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez of Washington's 3rd District. The Chelan County PUD is transferring reservation management of the Beebe Bridge Park campground to Washington State Parks. The State Lands Agency operates 124 developed parks and over 6,000 campsites in Washington. According to the PUD, other parks along the Columbia River, including Wenatchee, Confluence, Daroga, and Lincoln Rock State Parks, are also managed by that reservation system. PUD staff will continue to maintain the parks over a 2-year transition period and will work with state parks to transfer operations through early 2028. PUD customers can receive continued free day use access with parking passes, which can be requested on the Chelan County PUD website. Coming up next, the Lake Wenatchee landmark is under new management. The 59er Diner on Highway 2 is keeping its classic design and menu with the promise of some new treats in the future. The sun broke through over Wenatchee this afternoon, and Dan Kuntz says bright but chilly weather is likely to be what we see all the way into the start of next week. He's coming up with our nightly forecast. That's followed by Eric Granstrom with what's happening and what's still to come in Northwest sports as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. With professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. The Lake Wenatchee dining landmark, 59er Diner and Cabins, is under new ownership. Ezra and Sheena Frenzel took over the roadside diner from Joe Canada last month. The 1950s themed restaurant is a beacon of light and hunger satisfaction for travelers along Highway 2 at Coles Corner. The diner has featured classic American fare, sourced with local ingredients for more than 30 years, despite a fire in 2016 that destroyed the previous building. The Frenzels are now stewards of the diner, its customers, its history, and its future.
So I'm Sheena Frenzel. This is Ezra Frenzel. We're married. We live in Lake Stevens part-time and over here in Leavenworth part-time. And we just took over the 59er Diner on December 30th officially. But we've been working on this for 6 months or so. So we've been married about 10 years. And before we were married, when we were dating, we used to travel up here quite a bit and visit Leavenworth. It was always a favorite of both of ours.
Driving over the pass, the beautiful scenery, stopping at 59er for lunch, heading into town, playing mini golf. Like, Leavenworth's always been special to us.
Ezra and I are both entrepreneurs. We've started our own businesses before and grown them quite a bit, and so we've been through the experience of that. But this is a unique experience in that we have such a great head start on this diner, and it's got such a place in the community already.
Kind of cliche, I guess, but standing on the shoulders of giants. Like, Joe's really set a good foundation for us here, literally. So we're excited to continue off that. We don't want to break anything that he's done that's good, and we want to add our own twist to it as well as time goes by. But we want to be slow and deliberate about that because, again, we've always loved the 59er, and we don't want to break it.
Yeah, this was a really special place that we would come as a family, and we've got 4 little kids, and they would come here and, dance to the jukebox music and run around outside, and it was just a really fun place, and so it's really special to us.
Along with the 50s theme, we've always thought it would be fun to do some outdoor movies, hopefully weekly, but we'll see what happens as we get closer to summer. But I personally have always been a fan of like the old black and white, like sci-fi specifically. The movie Them is so fantastic. So we thought it'd be fun to put up a screen, get a projector out here, and get the community involved and show some movies.
Yeah, 50s movies in theme with our diner. So yeah, and we've got some great cabins here that have a lot of charm and history, and we want to build out some additional cabins and remodel a little bit as well. The cabins that we have built here were built in the 60s, and they've been refreshed a couple times, but it's all 50s themes. Each one has its own individual theme. But yeah, so they're really cute, and we want to build out a lot more. We want to do like family reunions and corporate events and bigger picture stuff that people can come to, and they can have a place that they can have a little bit of that charm and a unique experience here.
Yeah, we'd like to be a destination, like not just for food, but also for entertainment.
So I love the Jan's Classic Burger. I think that's really great, as well as the Big Bopper Burger. The burgers here are fantastic. The shakes are really good. We have lots of different flavors of shakes, and those are really popular. Our kids actually love the kids' spaghetti the most. They are always ordering the kids' spaghetti.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. But they love a lot of the breakfast foods too. So we come here a lot for breakfast, and well, we come here a lot in general. But
yeah, I think the Bopper and the Jan's Classic are hard to beat. Those are my favorites as well. But the Hula Bird's also really good. Still working my way through the menu, but there's a lot of good food on there. And then the shakes, of course, we love.
We want to get a little bit more of a hold on things first. As being the new owners, we're still figuring out what we have going on, and so we have a lot of fan favorites here and people that have come here for years, and so we don't want to break anything that works really well, but we also want to evolve as a business, and so we're open-minded to making changes on the menu as it makes sense, and then also adding our own twist on things as we grow. It's a really great location for sure, because we've got the ski resort that's not very far away, and then we've got downtown Leavenworth that's not very far away, and so it's a great stop when you're first coming over the pass to have this happy place that you can stop and get a burger or a milkshake or warm up with some hot chocolate. Or
as well as just like the whole Lake Wenatchee area as well. Like, it's beautiful out here. There's lots of recreation, not a ton of places to eat. So we're excited to be able to serve this really local community as well as Leavenworth.
So our kids are super excited to be a part of the 59er Diner. We have a 3, 4, 8, and 10-year-old. Our oldest is a boy, the others are girls. And our 8-year-old girl, she just immediately, she thinks she works here, and it's great. I love it. She's a part of, she's already a part of the 59er. So she comes in and she immediately wants to hand out menus. She's bringing coloring pages to the kids, and she's already great with customer service. So she's gonna be a hit here. And then our son started his own LLC and officially owns our chicken coop here, and is going to be in charge of the eggs for the diner, the local part of the eggs that we're able to have here. And he's really excited about starting his own company and doing his thing with that. Yeah.
Happy Friday, everybody. Dan Kuntz once again filling in for Grant Olson on this Friday, and we're going to have a fantastic weekend for you people who like sunshine. If you like low clouds and fog and a high of 32 and a low of 30, sorry, you're out of luck. We're done with it today. Finally, the transition happened throughout the course of the day today. The folks farther to the east of us got to see the sunshine first, and then us, and we are in for a beautiful weekend as we look at Kashmir from our Hay Canyon camera. This was taken a little bit earlier in the day today. Unofficially 34 at Pangborn, 30 for the overnight low. It stayed at 30 for a long time today. It eventually popped up to about 34 degrees, and once again, gaining about 2.5 minutes of daylight, which makes a difference come Saturday and Sunday when we actually see the daylight and enjoy the sunshine. Why is this happening? I'll tell you in just a little bit. Everybody's going to be bathed in sunshine, but cooler temperatures because no radiant heat. The overnight low is going to get chilly. You folks in the basin, Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy, your overnight lows tonight are going to be the teens. No cloud cover, no blanket. We'll be more like, in the Wenatchee Valley, more like the lower 20s. The one exception to all of this is Ellensburg. Sorry, folks, you're still going to have some clouds and fog tomorrow, and you're only going to get to 27 degrees. Everybody's talking about the big weather maker is going to affect a huge swath of this country. We're kind of a part of it. It's right there, and it's the very, very edge of it that's going to barrel in all that ice-cold air through first the upper Midwest and eventually down to the south. But it was just enough wind in the upper elevations to scour out the skies. Look at tomorrow. Sunshine for everybody. A little on the cool side. Our normal high is 35. Will be more like freezing for the afternoon high because it's going to take us a while to get going there. Saturday, nothing but look, the whole Pacific Northwest bathed in sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful Sunday afternoon at Lumen Field for the football game. Everybody with lots of sunshine. Now, you remember that ridge of high pressure that gave us all that bad, gunky, kind of lousy January weather? Well, it moved out onto the Pacific Ocean, and guess what? It's going to make a U-turn and come right back. In fact, you can see on the very far edge of your screen the center of that ridge of high pressure. It's going to gradually shift back to the east, and we're going to have another ridge of high pressure. It's the same one. It's just going to come back and pay us another visit by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So just like any other high pressure in the wintertime, whatever weather we have when it arrives is the weather we're going to have for the balance of the week, which means we could see more clouds again, but it's going to be considerably warmer temperature-wise, because it's going to be considerably warmer by the time that high pressure returns to the Wenatchee Valley and all of the Pacific Northwest. We're going to start seeing temperatures go back up above normal once we get to the middle of next week, but we're also going to have to deal with a little more clouds. So if you'd like to bathe in sunshine, even though it's only going to be about 32 degrees, if you want your vitamin D, we got a good-looking weekend for you, both Saturday and Sunday. And Monday, too, for the most part, until we start seeing perhaps a little more on the stratus side of things. But the nice thing is when that inversion layer returns, the clouds will probably be high-level clouds. We hope anyway. We'll learn more on Monday. All right, from our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, it's where comfort, care, and community come together. We had all that clouds this morning, saw some sun breaks this afternoon. Now I'm not going to have to worry about that on Saturday. Again, out in the basin, you're going to see overnight lows tonight and Saturday night into Sunday in the teens. Will be a little bit warmer here in the Wenatchee Valley, 33 and 31 with lots of sunshine. A little bit of a tug of war on Monday between the clouds and the sun. We'll call it partly sunny. We're trying to be optimistic here. And then we'll see sunshine again on Tuesday, but by Wednesday of next week, that big ridge of high pressure that left the area and went back out in the Pacific is going to come right back and pay us a visit. Apparently it missed us, which means we're going to cloud up and we could deal with some inversion again. Sorry, folks, by Wednesday and Thursday. That's your weather forecast. Go Seahawks! Speaking of Seahawks, I think that might be Eric's topic when we return with sports. You're watching the Friday edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
And a happy Finally Friday. Seahawks General Manager John Schneider has been selected the NFL Executive of the Year. It's the first time in Schneider's 16 years with the team that the GM was selected Executive of the Year. Coach Mike McDonald says Seattle is in the NFC Championship because of the moves Schneider has made.
Name a thing that we've done since we've walked in the door 2 years ago, and especially this year, and we've gotten great returns. I mean, in terms of just action items, but I think, and I've talked about this at length before, but to me, it's like the leadership is probably needs to get talked about more with him on how he operates daily, you know, and how he treats everybody in the environment that we've been able to create around here is just, I think that's helped our development of our people, you know, that's helped guys take the next steps in their career. And you can kind of go down the list of coaches, personnel, players that have taken another step in their career. And if, you know, you kind of trace it all the way back, it's like, well, John's got a lot of responsibility in that. So, and I'm sure if he was standing right here, he'd be the first to thank all of our personnel staff, you know, just everybody being bought in the same thing. And that's what type of guy he is. So yeah, I'm really happy he won. He deserves it.
Call it coach speak, but Seattle's approach to the NFC title showdown with Los Angeles Sunday has been the same as each week of the season. Safety Jordan Love describes this week.
Today felt like a normal Thursday walkthrough. Everybody's, going through the process, doing their practice prep, it just feels like kind of another week. I think I would imagine that's the goal of Mike from the beginning, is to kind of establish a routine and a process that's similar week in, week out, no matter kind of what the game is. And so you know what to expect. We know we're going to have a Thursday practice, know how the flow goes Friday, Saturday. And so the process is the process. Then Sunday, it'll be definitely exciting in the stadium.
Love says they learned a lot from the game back on December 18th, in which LA compiled nearly 600 yards of offense.
Yeah, it's a dance, between the guy calling their plays, McVay, as well as Mike kind of calling our stuff. It's a dance of what we were showing, what we're presenting, how we're going to execute. I think the story of the second game was really just not executing. Defensively, we had a good plan in, but we just didn't execute to our fullest. And so, that we know that. I think we got the win, but we go into that Monday after that game knowing that it's great we got the win, but on defense that room was quiet for sure. Knowing that, all right, we have some work to do. And I think we showed, improvement the weeks after that game, because all right, that was a loud playoff-like environment for that game, and now we know what to expect.
Wide receiver Cooper Kupp came over to Seattle in free agency during the offseason. He has a unique perspective considering his 9 years with the Rams before joining Seattle.
We all have a story. All these guys here that step on this field, they've all had a story to get them to this point. They've all had a journey of what this year's been from, what the last few years have been to come to this point. Mine's just one of 53 that are going to be on that field. And in my story, this is an unbelievable storyline. The chances of this ends up being what it is, and I'm really excited about that. But this is the Seahawks going into an NFC Championship game and trying to get the job done. And so that's the great thing about football. It's all these guys. All these guys have different stories, and we all get to play for one another. I mean, it's a powerful thing when all 50 guys are playing for a why, playing for their purpose. But it's even more powerful when you're playing for the guys next to you, and you're playing for the people that are lining up alongside you. And that's what I'm excited about is the guys that are in this room that you want to go out there and win for, the coaches that have put so much time into this that you want to go and execute your job for. And we've got a lot of guys that live that are about it, and that's what makes this a really exciting thing for me.
Seattle and Los Angeles kick off at 3:30 Sunday afternoon on Fox. Weather's supposed to be sunny, temperatures in the 40s for the game at Lumen Field. Snow's supposed to be ending by tomorrow night in Denver, but leave cold temperatures for Sunday's AFC title game between the Broncos and Patriots. Kickoff set for noon on CBS. Temperatures in the 20s. Eastern Washington dropped a 4-pointer to Portland State last night in men's college basketball. The game went to the Pilots by a score of 65-61. Eastern will try to bounce back at home against Sacramento State tomorrow at 2. Washington State hosts Pepperdine at 3. San Francisco visits Gonzaga at 5 on the CBS Sports Network. Washington has a noon tip on Sunday at home against Oregon. That'll be on Peacock. Well, checking the women's college basketball scoreboard last night, Pacific knocked off Washington State, that is, 65-53. Oregon State got the better of Gonzaga in overtime, 92-87. Eastern Washington beat Portland State 81-63. Eastern visits Sacramento State tomorrow at 2 on ESPN+. Washington travels to Rutgers Sunday at 11. That'll be on the Big Ten Plus network. Seattle Kraken will try to make it 2 wins in a row tonight in NHL play, fresh off a 4-1 win over the Islanders Wednesday. Seattle hosts Anaheim tonight at 7 o'clock. That'll be on Prime Video and Kong TV. The Wenatchee Wild will spend the next couple of nights at home at the Town Toyota Center. Wild are looking for their first win over Kamloops this season in 4 attempts. That's at 7 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow it's the Big Guns and Hoses night with Cops facing Firefighters at 3. Wild will host Tri-City at 6. Go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com for tickets. You want more information on local sports, all the high school stuff, be sure and head to our website at NCWLIFE.com. I'm Eric Granstrom. Go Hawks.
And that will do it for Friday's edition of NCW Life Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. This channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Grant Olson has one more day of vacation. I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend.